Am I the idiot for telling my wife I'm mad that she didn't let me have my friends over? Last Saturday, I went over to a friend's house to hang out with the guys. My wife, who gave birth to our son 6 weeks ago, also had her friend over to our house. So I finish up at the gym, head over there and sit down to play some games. After playing for about 30 minutes, my wife calls me, her friend is gone now, and asks if I can come home because a bump on her skin has gotten more painful and she doesn't want to be taking care of the baby alone. When it's painful for her to stand and walk at this point, previously it only hurt while she was sitting. Obviously, I'm disappointed that I have to leave, but it is what it is. So I get up and tell my friend who gave me a ride over that I need him to give me a ride home. Everyone is confused and upset that I'm leaving, especially since now they're going to be short a person for their game. On the ride home, I call my wife and suggest that I just bring my friends over to my house instead. That way I can help with the baby whenever she needs me to, and I'll still get to hang out with my friends whenever I'm not needed by her. She says that she doesn't want people over, and we hang up. At this point, I'm mad. After I get home, I lay down next to her. 15 minutes of silence. She obviously doesn't need me at the moment. I finally ask myself out loud, what am I gonna do for the rest of day? She immediately starts crying and saying, "Are you seriously mad right now?" I tell her yes. I'm not mad that she wanted me home, but I'm mad that she won't let me have my friends over when in my mind it makes no difference to her. They'll be out in the living room the whole time, it's not like she's going to be leaving the bedroom anyways, since it hurts for her to walk. She has no reason to in the first place when I'll be in the house and will be available at her beck and call. 2. She says my priorities are all wrong. I tell her that she comes before my friends, but that I don't see why I can't be there for her when she needs help, and then also be able to go out into the living room to see my friends when she doesn't. That way we're both happy, right? She gets all the help she needs and my Saturday plans that I've been looking forward to all week aren't spoiled. She says I don't get it, that she needs moral support and I won't be able to provide that if my friends are over. I don't understand this, because I know for a fact that if I came home and just hung out playing games in the living room, when not actively helping her, that she would be fine with that. She even admitted this was true. After we argued, she took an ibuprofen and felt no pain at all until the next day. Comment 1. YTA, and so are your friends. Why on earth would they be confused that you were going home to your wife and newborn? You have a newborn and a wife who hasn't physically healed from the birth yet. You should be at home taking care of the two of them. Your job right now is to make life easier for your wife, not harder. It's also hilariously optimistic of you to think people are going to say anything negative about your wife. Comment 2. Seriously, I don't even have children and no YTA. In what world is it okay for you to bring a group of loud guys over with a healing wife and a newborn in the house? Her one friend being there to look after her and help with the baby, which is your job by the way, is nothing like your friends coming over. She's not up to company after a major medical procedure. It takes a minimum of 6 weeks to recover from a vaginal delivery and 8 from a C-section. Minimum. Obviously, it's going to take her longer. She has trouble walking. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my wife it's concerning she has no friends? My wife and I are both in our late 20s and have been together for about 5 years, married for 2. I adore her and she has a lot of wonderful qualities, but there's one thing that really concerns me. She doesn't have anyone she talks to on a regular basis outside of me and her mom. She has expressed to me many times that she's unhappy about this, but won't make an effort to change it. I've tried to help her out by inviting her to hang out with my friends or introducing her to acquaintances I think she might click with, but she always declines and says she feels awkward around them or that she doesn't think she fits in. I've encouraged her to go to meetups in our city or try meeting people through apps geared toward making new friends, but she always has some sort of excuse for not wanting to try. Because of the ongoing lockdown in our city, this is becoming a major problem. She got laid off from her job last month and has been really stressed out and struggling to adjust to the situation. I try my best to make quality time for her before and after work every day, but I'm a social person and it's also important for me to spend time with my friends and family via Google Hangouts, Zoom, etc. at least a few times a week. Recently, we got into a big argument about this. She broke down and said she was lonely and unhappy and that she feels ignored and neglected when I spend hours talking to my friends and she's at home with nothing to do. I told her I understood that she was going through a hard time and I wanted to support her, but I don't think it's healthy that she has no friends and it's way too much pressure on me to be her entire social life. This really upset her and now she's locked herself in her room and refuses to talk to me. Comment 1. I mean, I would say that telling someone that it's concerning that she doesn't have friends because 1. Some people truly couldn't care less about having friends and that's okay too. It's not that easy to make friends. Especially when you're an adult. 3. As others have mentioned, she may have social anxiety, and even if she doesn't have it, some people don't feel comfortable talking to new people. So I wouldn't exactly call you an asshole, but like kinda a jerk or inconsiderate maybe, but you had good intentions. I suggest she try using the Bumble app because although it is a dating app, they do also have an option where you can switch to the other section, which is designed for people looking to making new friends. Comment 2. NTA. It would concern me too if my partner didn't have any friends besides myself that they could bond with, not to mention the amount of pressure that puts on you. You mentioned being together 5 years, in that time has she ever had friends? I also see people in this thread bringing up this possibility of her suffering from anxiety. Has she ever pursued therapy for this? I myself suffer from anxiety and therapy has helped immensely. It is not your responsibility to be someone's sole source of happiness, socializing, etc. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for throwing out my wife's friends at 4 a.m.? My 41M wife 40F was out with her friends last night. Her friend is moving out of the country, so they were hanging out at our place first, drinking mimosas and listening to music, and after that they went out to drink at a bar. I am injured, recently had surgery, am taking antibiotics, can't drink or move around easily, and so I stayed at home with the dog. The dog is relevant to the story, he is a male dog, and he is kinda skeptical towards other male dogs. It's about a 50-50 chance whether he will like them or not. At around 4 a.m., my wife comes home with one of her friend and 2 people they met at a bar. Turns out, one of those people brought their male dog. It was a cute dog, he seemed really nice. But it was a male dog. Our dog jumped down, eager to greet his mom, then sees the other dog and freaks out. I have to lift him up to avoid a dog fight, and when the other dog goes over to eat his food, he freaks out even more, barking and growling. In my sleepy state, I probably overreacted. I asked my wife why the hell she thought it was okay to bring a male dog home at 4 a.m., and while he is freaking out in my arms, basically begging me to let him down so he can eviscerate the intruder, I tell them to get out of my home, and basically push them out the door. My wife then brings some wine outside to have a drink with her friends in the backyard, and I bring the dog into the bedroom to calm him down. An hour or so later she comes back inside and goes to bed. The next morning she tells me her friends were worried about her after my reaction, and that the dogs would have been fine. My dog was literally snarling at the other dog while I was holding him. I will admit that I might have overreacted in my exhausted state at 4 a.m., but AITA? Edit 2, since so many people asked, they were at a dog-friendly bar, so the people actually brought their dog to the bar. When I get better I'm definitely going there with the dog one day. Edit 3, a lot of people are reacting to the part about bringing home strangers. Where I live, going home with or bringing home new acquaintances for a nightcap is a completely normal thing to do, so I didn't even consider that being a point of contention, which is why I didn't address it in the original text. Edit 4, my dog is not dog aggressive outside of my home. He is a dachshund, so he is territorial, but he does not attack dogs outside. He is perfectly fine in dog parks, and in dog bars. When I say he is 50-50 on whether or not he likes other male dogs, that does not mean he attacks them. It means he does a double bark and then backs away. This was in his home, unprepared, and the other dog was eating his food. Knowing the breed, plus him being skeptical of male dogs, means that his reaction was predictable. It does not mean he is dog aggressive, or food aggressive for that matter. When dogs he knows eats his food he does not care one bit. In general. Comment 1. Just so I'm clear, you're upset because your wife's friend's dog upset your dog? That just seems like the cherry on top of an all-around bad decision sundae. Nothing bad happened to the dogs. Your dog is a male. If I had to guess he's probably still intact, because the 50-50 with other males. It's a pretty standard reaction from intact males. Regardless. It was just a bad scenario. 4 a.m., strangers, strange male dog, dad is freaking out. Of course your dog reacted that way. Your dog is fine. He's probably already over it. so I guess it's all good. Ask her not to do it again. Who cares what her friends think about you throwing them out? They think it's okay to walk in people's homes with their dog at 4 a.m. So. Comment 2. I understand that it was the dog you had an issue with, however, you just had surgery, and from your post, you are not able to get around very well. I think not only her bringing a dog over. It is also your wife who knew 4 things. She knew not to bring another dog into your home, as you two have discussed those very things with your recent surgery that you are still recovering from, and it was you that handled your dog while he was being aggressive, and I am sure it was not picking him up. The inconsiderate dog owner did not control her dog and actually let her damn loose in your home that she let eat your dog's food. What did she expect? Your wife did not help by telling this friend to get control of the dog, nor did the owner lift a finger to help. It's like she didn't care about whether her dog gotten eaten or attacked. If her dog or her had gotten hurt, your homeowner's insurance would have had to pay for any damages, and she could also ask for emotional and mental distress. Your wife didn't know this woman and out your security and also the cost to you for any damages the friend of friend could have suffered. Any apology given should be discussed on a level recognizing these items for her to see the seriousness of her actions. I hope your recovery was not set back by this incident and that you have a speedy recovery. Edit for spelling. Did this late last night?